man.
Right. And it is the thing, right? And I think this is the tough part too. And I'm taking it there, Ron. I'm sorry. My bad. No, you good. I'm gonna take it there, Ron. My bad. And forgive me if this isn't the direction you wanted to go, but I can't help it. It's the Pentecostal in me. Here's the thing. Some of these life issues, some of these life events, let's keep it a buck. You're not man enough to deal with it.
True.
And here's the solution, y'all.
Maybe it's not for it's not something.
It's not something that's too heavy for you to bear.
You need to lean on God. You need to lean on someone else. It's not just for you to just take this walk by yourself, right? So
maybe God, and I'm not saying God is a manipulative God. No, that's not the situation. But maybe God already foreknew you would have to come to him with this, or you wouldn't be able to handle it by yourself.
I bring it to a whole different.
Yeah.
Definitely saw it before, because we're looking at the painting as it's being painted. He already sees the picture already. That's the perspective that we have with God. You know what I'm saying? That's why I trust in him. You know what I'm saying? Because he's already seen the painting already. I'll just let me guide me through as I'm seeing it from it being painted.
Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge him, and he will direct your paths.
Listen, Ron, I will say this. As you take a man who has been left, cheated on, or whatever, most men would react the non-masculine way and go out and plunder and take as many women as he can now. It takes a very strong man not to do that. You take a man that is, it takes a real man not to do that, to deal with the hurt. You take a man whose father has left him when he was a boy, or you take a man whose mother's telling him that he's nothing, that she doesn't care for him, that threw him away, right? You take a man who does that, and that man not react in anger when he gets older. That's a man, bro. That's masculinity.
See, here's the thing, Steve. So now I've been Christian, I've been Muslim, and I've been just lost. That's just what it is. Right? And
oh man.
Yeah. And bro, like there were times when I was not man enough to deal with that hurt.
That time when I wasn't either. I understand that. Yeah.
You know, and I was not man enough to turn to someone else and be like, listen, 100%. I don't know how to navigate this. I need help. I need some direction. I need somebody. No, I wasn't even man enough to do that, much as go to God. Right?
Yeah.
I understand.
Oh, pardon me, fellas. Pardon. Give me one moment.
No, you're good.
Give me 1 moment. Somebody wants to say hi.
What's up?
Hi, Abby. What's up? Oh, you look like your mother. That's your mother's face. Bye, girl. You look like your mother there, girl. You got your mother's face. You look like your mother bad, girl. Ron, she ain't get nothing from you, man.
Bro, listen, she looks just like Aaron. Just like Aaron. No. Don't touch that. All right, Phil, let's get back to it. So yeah, even in those situations, right? It's like, hey, I wasn't mature enough to even realize I wasn't even dealing with the issue.
Uh-huh.
I cannot.
I think a lot of times it's even for men, right? Because here's the thing. When you're younger, it just is what it is. You're not as mature as you should be. I think a lot of times men don't even realize that there's an issue there in the first place. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like, hold on, let me take a step back. You know what I'm saying? Almost on some like, let me look at this from the outside looking in. Men don't do that. We just go. Or I do this now. I gotta. We don't afford ourselves the opportunity to acknowledge the issue and examine the problem, and then be able to properly address the problem for what it is. And then, you know, if anything is toxic about masculinity, it's the whole, oh, no, I'm good. No, I'm good. We do a lot of that as men. As men, we do a lot of that. Like, no, I'm good. I work it out. No, I'm good. No, I'm cool. And not even admit, nah, bro, you hurt. Nah, bro, you took a quick L. You took an L. I'm gonna need you to sit on your L for half a second. Absolve that L. Soak that L in. And then you can see where things could have been done differently, or what could be done differently, or what is the issue in the first place.
It's tough to do. It's not, and I'm speaking from experience. It's not an easy thing to do.
It's not.
And it really takes a level of. It takes a level of. You know why it's not an easy thing to do? Because in every situation that you have, and I don't want to say there is some sort of, let me not say that. I'm gonna take that out. So I'm glad I didn't say before. But it takes a lot to say this hurt me. No, it does. As a man, not even as a man, as a person in general. As a person in general, it takes a lot to say what this person did hurt me, because what you're saying is this. In essence, you're saying this person had power over me
to even be able to hurt me in the first place.
That caused that hurt.
But here's the thing. Is it that the person hurt you, or is it that you allow the person to hurt you?
No, you could hurt. Like, bro, like somebody who's in a relationship for a long time, they get cheated on, that's hurt. You know, I don't care how man of a man you are. I don't care how woman of a woman you are. You know what I'm saying? Like, Halle Berry is fine, bro. Halle Berry is gorgeous. She could probably get any dude she wants. Halle Berry's been cheated on. It hurt. Like, and that's Halle Berry, brother. You know what I'm saying? So it's like there are times when you're gonna get hurt, and it's not that you allow the person to hurt you. What you allow is how you deal with it.
Okay.
You're gonna get hurt,
I agree with that. I agree with that.
You know what I'm saying? You can't not stop somebody from hurting you. You can control how you react to the hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing that we get misconstrued. How to react to the hurt. That's where it comes from. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna hurt if your mama tells you ain't nothing. It's gonna hurt if your father says you're not good enough for me to even stay here, so I'm gonna go out and leave. That's gonna hurt. You have nothing to do with that. It's gonna hurt. But the way you react to it, that's on you.
And what you do, and what you do after the hurt too, Steve. Because I remember back when I was 16, I was playing, to paint the picture for you to support what you're saying. I was playing basketball. I played on this AAU team in the Bronx. You know what I'm saying? We were in Hunt Point. So that's a whole nother story, playing in Hunts Point. But we went to go play in this big tournament up at Fordham, and we were playing a team from Florida. I'm thinking we're playing just any old team. Come to find out, it's like the all-star AAU team from Florida. So I'm like, all right, I'm still thinking, I'm like, yo, we from the Bronx, we good. Not me, I'm from Long Island. But I'm like, we good. I remember that game had me so tight, man, because they just stuffing everything. So anyway, this is the play where it happened. I had a little post-up play. I go in for the layup. I'm in midair. My shot gets blocked. I'm like, okay. I catch the ball in midair. This is me younger, y'all, so I had a little more athleticism. I try to put it back up again. Yo, he blocks my shot again. I'm like, yo, are you kidding me? So out of anger, I punched the pole that holds up, you know, I had pattern. I'm thinking I'm good. I punched the pole that holds up the whole rim in the basket. My knuckle, I'm thinking my knuckle got pushed back. I'm like, oh man, it hurt a little. It didn't hurt tremendously though. It did hurt. But I'm thinking my personal hurt, I could fix it. I just gotta pull my knuckle forward. I don't know what is going on, but I just gotta pull my knuckle forward. I gotta pull my knuckle forward. Nothing's happening, nothing's changing.
Hey,
I
Rambo.
go into the doctor that night. My coach took me home, took me to my mom. My mom took me to the doctor. Hello, bro, you broke your metacarpal bone. So the problem is there's a lot of men out there that are getting impacted, affected, hurt, right? Not acknowledging the hurt, like I'm on some like, coach, I can still play. It's just my knuckle. Nah, bro. We gotta sit you out real quick. Hold on. We going, don't worry, we'll take care of it without you. A lot of men like, nah, I'm still good to go. I'm still good. And it's like, nah, you're hurt. You're damaged goods. And it ain't just a regular, all right, I'll be good after a week hurt. No, you're gonna be out 4 to 6 weeks. And you need time to heal. But God forbid I didn't go, and that's the other element about it. If I didn't go to the right person to diagnose the situation the right way, I wouldn't even know the severity of the pain in the first place. I think we lost Steve.
Yeah, I think we lost Steve.
But I mean, that's what it is. That's what it is, bro.
One, we don't acknowledge, and the second part of it, we don't take the time to heal.
Right. And with all of these factors going on, if I didn't go to the doctor to get the doctor to properly look at the problem in the first place, I'll tell you the story. I went to the doctor. The doctors thought they could just pull it apart and pull my metacarpal bone and replace it, which seems completely logical. Guess what happened 2 or 3 days later? It didn't heal properly. It was still a little protrusion coming up. So they had to go in and properly address the issue. And God's the only one that could dig in and properly address the issues in our life like that. You understand what I'm saying? And so, like I said, you could go to the wrong person, get misdiagnosed too. You got people talking about meditation. Hey, bro, it ain't in you. If it was in you, you wouldn't have probably been in the situation in the first place.
True.
It's the solution is in God. In the solution, he's able to get to it if you let him in. You know what I'm saying? So I know, my bad, Ron. I'm not sure if that's the turn you wanted this to take. But real talk with my hand, they had to properly address it. But now imagine a man, right, that walks around like, nah, I'm good. It's just my knuckle. Nah, don't worry, y'all. That's just my knuckle. I probably would have not been able to use this finger or have any range of motion in it for the rest of my life. Yep. It would have healed. It would have healed. It would have healed. Let's talk as men. It would have healed, but it would have healed out of place. You got a lot of men out here healed out.
They think they're good, but they're not. Like on the surface, they look okay.
Right.
But there's a lot of internal turmoil that hasn't been dealt with.
Right. How they're self-medicating. How are they self-medicating? I don't know, drugs, whatever, sex. Oh, you got to get over her. You got to get under her. That ain't.
But, you know, I had this conversation with a friend of mine. I was like, you know, everyone that does that, they're running away from dealing with the problem.
You're just running. Listen, anybody that does that, you're running up a tab that you're gonna have to pay eventually.
And it's gonna be a steep tab.
That is. And you might not have the money to pay for it. You know what I'm saying? You're running up a tab that you're gonna have to pay eventually.
Yeah.
That is the worst thing that you can do. Is the worst thing. I mean, it feels great for a little bit, for the little, time, whatever. But that is honestly the worst thing that you can do.
Dig in there, Steve. My bad. Dig in there. Why do you say it's a tab that you can't afford to pay later? Dig in.
because it's I liken it to this. This is how I put relationships, right? So when you're in a relationship with somebody, imagine like you are fully clothed, and when you break up with somebody, let's just say your clothes gets wet, right? How do you deal with wet clothes? What do you do?
Gotta take them off and dry them.
Yeah,
But what do you have to do to yourself?
you have to be naked.
You gotta dry yourself as well, right?
Mhm.
So because you gotta dry the water off and everything, because if you don't and you just put dry clothes over yourself, the clothes in itself gets wet,
Okay.
right? And you start to chase and you start to, whatever. So when you jump from woman to woman to woman to try to, fill in a hole, all that you're doing is you're not even taking the clothes off. What you're doing is you're jumping from one relationship, coming out, not dealing with it, putting a new relationship on. So really what you're doing is jumping from one pool to another, putting dry clothes over wet clothes. What ends up happening? You end up having the dry clothes becomes wet. So what does that mean? Everything that happened in the old relationship transfers to the new relationship because you haven't dealt with getting dry. You haven't dealt with removing the relationship off of you. And so when you jump from woman to woman to woman, or in essence, if you're a woman and you jump from man to man to man, all you're doing is putting dry clothes over wet clothes, dry clothes over wet clothes. And eventually you chafe, you get infected. And most people don't know that they're infected until you see like physical things about you that happen. And so what happens is that you're going to end up just being this person that doesn't deal with their issues, but throws physical stuff at it. Or never deals with the issues, period, and self-medicate. And so that's why you just can't jump from relationship to relationship or from partner to partner to partner. You literally have to take that time. And it's hard work. It's hard work. You got to take that time and really remove certain things from you in order to make the next thing pop.
So interesting that you said that now. So we're talking about toxic masculinity, and most of that stems from relationships.
Yeah.
Relationships, right? So it goes back to what we were saying before, because now if you haven't dealt with the issue, if you haven't even taken a step back to
acknowledge
acknowledge what the issue is, all you're doing is just dragging, like they call it baggage, right? All you just doing, just dragging that baggage with you or wherever you go. Okay, and you're not dealing with it, and it's just weighing you down. It's just weighing you down, and you just take, and the thing is with baggage, it doesn't fit everywhere. So now, if you can't take that baggage with you, you're no longer you're not allowed in that space now, right? And now you're missing out. So so I was also thinking that this is part of what contributes to what they call toxic masculinity, right? Whereas that people have not had taken the time to step back and learn from the mistake that they've made, to mature, right, and be able to be to be better, right? So now they're stuck in that immature state, not dealing with the issue, not growing from it. So now, how does a child deal with not getting what they want?
They cry.
And they throw a tantrum. Right? So, I mean, it's kind of oversimplifying it, but it's essentially what's happening.
Right.
They don't know how to express what they're feeling. They don't know how to deal with it. So it's just it frustrates them. Right. And in your frustration, you lash out.
Right.
So
I think a lot of men in a lot of situations where they get hurt have to have the wherewithal to just, and I think Jake's a while ago preached a message on this. He called it potholes. You know what I'm saying? Some potholes you hit, you could keep rolling. You know?
Yes.
Again, basketball, my dad was driving a bunch of kids from church out to Brooklyn of all places. My bad, fellas. We hit one pothole. We couldn't just keep rolling. Sometimes life gives you these potholes.
You know what it is, Steve? You know what it, Steve? Steve, you know what it is? Sam didn't reinforce that undercarriage, right? So he wasn't ready. He wasn't ready for the potholes of Brooklyn.
You from Brooklyn? For the potholes,
I don't
baby.
think anyone's ready for the potholes of Brooklyn. Get out of here.
Only Brooklyn cats is ready for the Brooklyn potholes, baby, because we know what's up already.
Yeah, you know where they at too. But anyway, all I know is that transmission was no good after that. Okay.
Dang, bro.
And people, when these life events, when these life potholes come, they don't take the time say, you know what, I need to change this tire.
Yeah.
And they roll, and you hear you know that sound. Now I can make it to the navigation. I can make it here. No, sometimes no, you can't. Or you're gonna do more damage than you've already done.
That's true.
I remember like we had an issue with the car where the check engine light came on, right?
Right.
Like, man, the car's still running. We're good. Man, when we finally I think like 6 months later, we finally took it to the mechanic. So many problems happened after that, bro. The tab that came up after, I was like, oh man.
It's true, bro. and let me ask you a personal question, because I know the answer already, because it's happened to me. It happened with me with my car just now. I bet that it started with one problem that caused another problem that caused another problem.
And if I had dealt with the first one,
it would be good.
Because no matter what we do in life, everything is connected. Everything is connected. No matter how we try to segment our lives and segment things in our lives and say, hey, this goes here, that goes there, that goes there, that goes there. No matter how much times we try to do that, everything is connected. And that's why you can have one little problem in your life in this way. If you don't fix that problem, it balloons and it manifests so many different things else, which you wonder why. Dang, I just did a little thiefy. I just stole a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Dang, I'm in jail for murder. How did that happen? Never thought I'd be a murderer. Well, because you had an appetite to steal and you wanted to get away, and you would do anything to get away. And you stole one time and somebody tried to stop you, you popped him. You know what I'm saying? And that's how becoming a thief can make you a murderer.
Reminds me of a Slick Rick song. Not for real though. I feel you.
That's it. So if you don't deal with one issue or one problem, this woman just hurt me, or this guy just hurt me, this person just hurt me, it manifests into I'm now hurting a bunch of different people. It manifests into I don't even want to see my kids anymore. It manifests into you go from turning your heart cold to other people, to turning your heart cold to your friends, to now not being able to trust people, and you can't trust okay, thanks, Siri. You can't trust anybody at all, and you can't even trust your parents, your mom, the whole world's out against you, and then now you feel like everyone's out against you, so now you start having anxiety over everything just for not dealing with it. And it sounds far-fetched, but it's not.
It's not.
It happens
every day.
And if you would ask certain people that might struggle with anxiety, or you ask certain people that might struggle with depression, what do you think it started from? More than likely, it's they got hurt by something and they just didn't deal with it. And it grew to different portions and aspects of them. And so for this concept of toxic masculinity, it is not masculine. It is a toxic personality in which is rooted in situations in life that have not been dealt with, that have grown to the immense problem that is being labeled as.
See, what you needed right there, Steve, was a mic, so you can just. I agree. I agree in the reason I can agree because I've seen it happen and I've experienced it myself.
Yeah.
I've made the mistake of not dealing with certain things, and then when when it came time to pay the piper, it was like, whoa, hold up. I didn't know, I didn't know I had to deal with that. I didn't know I had to do this. I didn't know that, like, where did all this come from? Where did the, you know, not even, bro, not even treating women like like the women as women should be treated. Like, I was just like, man, it's just another girl. That's it. As long as I'm good, that's all that matters. Like where did it, like, when did it get there? And it's weird because it's always a buildup, right? And when you look back and you think about it, like they said, hindsight is 2020. You see all the red flags, right? But for some reason, when you're in it, it's just okay. I'm just gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep going. Then all of a sudden, you end up whereas, like, how did I get here?
Mm-hmm.
So it. So I mean, just deal with just deal with it, man.
Just deal with it. That's it.
Sometimes men, but that's the thing. Sometimes we we can't deal with it by ourselves, and I think that takes a real man to know that too.
And that's the thing. Like, accept that you need help. Accept that this is not something you can overcome on your own with your own strength. Like, you need help.
Right.
And then sometimes, even if your initial step is not to go to God, at least speak up and ask for help.
But even men in God, you know what I mean? Like, imagine this: the divorce rate in the church is as high as the divorce rate in the world. So a lot of people would have be like, "Well, what's the point?" Right? But even in the church, there's men in the church that's like, "Well, I'm gonna just go to God with it. I'm good." It's like, well, you got your brothers. You should have accountability in your life. You should have systems in your life where you have other men. How good it is for the brethren to dwell together in unison. Do not utterly forsake the gathering of the brethren together in unity. You know what I'm saying? That's why a community is necessary in your life. You know what I'm saying? Like, the cross goes two ways. It goes up and down, to God, and it goes sideways to, each other. We have to have that. We gotta have that. Gotta have that church to support us, man. We gotta, and even aside from, you gotta have brothers, man. Like, I'll be honest. Last night, me, Steve, Denzel, those are my brothers. Those are dudes that, in my life, hold me accountable to a certain standard of godliness. You know what I'm saying? And I was able to be open and honest with them and not feel like, okay, I don't got to worry if my business is going to be out there. Nah, it's not. Because at the end of the day, they love me and care about me and got my best interests at heart too. So I know I could, like, there's so many times I'll call Steve. It happened like a month ago, right? You remember that joint? Like a month or even 3 weeks before that. Yo, bro, what should I do? Don't do it. I know. All right, I was just making sure. Real talk. Real talk. Like, yo, I already know the answer, but what do you think? Do the right thing. I know. All right, I'm gonna do it.
It seems like everybody does that to Steve.
You need that, man. Here's the thing: you need that, and trust me, I have it too. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is that as men, I don't want to be friends with somebody who's going to okay me for doing dumb stuff.
Yeah, don't go sign on me doing dumb stuff. Don't do it.
Who's gonna okay me for breaking up my family or messing my family up, bro? Or doing all like you know what I'm saying? You have friends that will look at you and say, "Yo,
That's not a friend though.
go cheat on your wife, bro." Like, yo, shorty looking at you kind of crazy. Like you go outside with the fellas and like, shorty looking at you kind of crazy. Go ahead, man. Yeah, you got it. I ain't gonna say nothing. That's like the level of friendship that you have. Like that's what it mean, like holding your man down. Like, nah, bro, go say that. I ain't gonna tell your wife. No, I'll tell you one thing. We go out, a woman tries to talk to any of my homeboys who are married. I'm sorry, ma'am, they're married. And I'm gonna look at my homeboy, like I'm gonna look at Sam, I'm gonna look at Ron, I look at Denzel, I look at it, be like, bro, you're married.
Mm-hmm.
You're not single. Don't mess your family up.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna do that in other aspects of their life as well. Bro, maybe you shouldn't do this. Maybe you shouldn't do that. Yeah, do this. Yeah, do that. That's a dope idea. But I'm gonna put the battery in your back because I'm gonna spew everything through, and here it is, and here it is, and here it is. I spew everything through the lens of God, through Christ Himself. I spew everything through the cross. So if you say anything that happened, you come to me, you tell me something, and you ask me for advice, the advice is gonna come from a biblical place. If you know, and it doesn't mean that I judge, because trust me, I've sat down and, and we've talked. Yeah, we've talked.
Yeah.
You men talking about things that we struggle with, stuff that where we're going, where we want to go, insecurities, failures, all that stuff. But everything is that, and you need that because you know what that is, Ron? You know what that is, Sam? In essence, you want to know what that stuff is? That's therapy, brothers.
Yeah.
That's therapy.
I remember one time, like I was coming to church, Steve came and picked me up, and I was talking to him about one of my blogs, right? And we're going back and forth, and we got on the subject of iron sharpens iron. And so I told him, I said, so I had this analogy in my mind. All right. So I told him, I was like, I use the samurai sword. And I was telling him it's weird because with a samurai sword, they fold the steel. So the steel is folded sometimes up to 15 times to make that blade, to strengthen that blade. Right? And how now the way they make the blade, they immerse it in fire. Right? And then when they immerse it in fire, they quench it in oil.
Forge and fire, baby.
So we were in the car and we're just going down. We were driving down the highway and we were just talking. And I was like, and then as I'm talking to him, it hit me. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna use this. And mind you, when I got in the car, I had no idea what I was gonna write about. I didn't know. I had no idea, man. I was struggling that whole week. I had no subject, nothing. I didn't know what I was gonna do. And just having a conversation, just talking it out. I was like, I got it. And I know, and then I remember that the other time we were on Bible study, and right after Bible study, I called Steve. I'm like, yo, bro, they stole my bike. And I'm like, yo, they stole my bike, but I'm not mad.
I remember that.
So he's like, so as I'm talking to him, he's like, I get it. I understand. But I know if I spoke to anybody, any one of my secular friends, if I spoke to them about it, they wouldn't understand why I wasn't mad. They wouldn't get it. I was just like, all right. I mean, because my whole thing is like, okay, they stole the bike. I did the report. Ain't nothing I can do about it now. It's gone. Not like I just accept it. I'm not getting it back. I'm just not. You know.
Mhm.
But it's just like just the fact that it happened. I just called him. I was just like, yeah, bro. Yeah, I'm almost done. I was like, bro, you won't believe it, man. He's like, he's in regular Steve fashion. It's like, what happened? Right? he, was like, he's like, are you okay? What happened? Like, I was like, bro, it just stole my bike. I just walked home.
Dang.
But I think I am very thankful and very appreciative of the fact that I have you guys. I have you, Barack. I have Kelly. I got Sam. Like you, I got Trav. I just gonna just randomly pick up the phone and call them like, hey, I got checking on you guys. You guys checking on me, and we just make
And
sure.
that's what it is, bro. It's a community, and really, church isn't a mausoleum. You know what I'm saying? Church is not some place to go to look pretty and to not live. It's a mausoleum. The Bible refers to a church, and it calls a church, and it refers to parts of the church as living stones. And that's crazy, right? Because you say, how can you be a living stone in a building, right? But the church is made up of you and I. Living stones means pillars that are rooted stones, heavy stones that are rooted in Christ. But being rooted in Christ, you're living because you're now attracting other things to it, right? And so our church, and the beautiful part about our church is that the men there are supportive of each other. And we pull each other up by the bootstraps. And like I can call you and be like, yo, Ron, bro, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. Such and such and such. You gotta step it up, bro. Or I can call you and be like, yo, Ron, son, my day is going crazy, bro. Sam, I don't know what's going on, man. I'm going out of my mind. Or, yo, bro, like, I saw you do this and that. You gotta step it up, man. You know what I'm saying? Don't be what's going on. And it don't no pride stuff like, yo, what you talking to? Or I'm watching the game, I'll call you later. It's on some like, nah, let's talk right now. And you know where all that comes from? You know where all that stems from? A pastor. Our pastor. When he sets the tone, that's what leadership is, right? You set the tone, everybody got to follow it. It goes to him. And so we have a good community of men who are there for each other, who are holding each other down and everything. Like I called another brother, bro, and I was just on some like I haven't seen him in a long time. And I texted brother, I was like, yo, bro, you good? Like, is everything okay? And then I didn't get a text for a minute, and he gives me a text back. I'm fantastic, bro. I'm on vacation a little bit. I'm like, oh, okay, smooth,
my
bro.
bad. My bad.
I didn't mean to disturb you.
And then my man just sent me some pictures of where he was at. I was like, all right, now you good.
All right, do you think? My bad. You got it.
But I was on some like, yo, what's up? Like, and you know when you get that, yo, you good text? It's not like, it's like, yo, bro,
what up?
Like, is everything okay? You're not out of your mind, or you ain't out here?
You ain't wilding. You ain't out here wilding.
No, man. Like, I'm here, bro.
We should do an episode like that. We should do an episode.
The irony with that is that anytime Sam sends me a text, all right, it's like, hey Ron, you all right? Every time he sends me a text, something just happened. Every single time. I'm like,
text no more, Sam.
Oh man, it'd be the Holy Spirit, man. That's what that is, man. At the end of the day, you know, it's just check up on your brother, check up on your bro, check up on your bro. It even happens with Steve. I'll be like, yo, what up, Steve? You good, bro?
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. You know, throughout just like my not just my time, not even the time, just even still now, with just everything that, the past few years that I've kind of like went through with my life and everything or whatever. I can say one of the constant things there have been like Sam, like literally out of the blue checking up on me. Like, and he's like, yo, bro, you good? And a couple of times he checked up on me and I was like, yo, I'm glad he did. Because I've been through something that crazy, man. I've been through like, you know what I'm saying? I just leave it right there. But definitely just on some like called me. And it's one of those calls where you get to call, you be like, should I pick up? Like if I pick up, like you got in your mind to do something stupid, and somebody call you
on sight.
Yeah. It's like you're like it's God, and be like, yo, what up, bro? And you just start talking, and then you talk, right? And you just talk, and you see like an hour or two go by, and you're like, yo, bro, and you don't even tell the person what's happening. You just go, yo, bro, thank you for calling me. Like, nah, Mr. Cooper, I feel like God told me, but you come on the phone, you're like, yeah, it's Jesus. That was Jesus. I'm not even gonna do a stupid thing. I gotta go. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm putting this down. I'm throwing this out. No, not here. I'm driving home. All that. And literally, that's what brothers are for.
Yep. And I'll tell you one thing. One of the unique things about our church is just the presence of men. I'm not going to sit here and typecast other churches, but even in growing up, I the churches I visited, I didn't see a whole lot of presence of men, you know what I mean? Like you see the usher, you see the deacons, you look in the crowd, a lot of ladies, you know what I'm saying? And so for us, one of the unique things of Church City is the presence of men, you know what I mean? And that's what we need. And that's what real men need. Real men of Christ, real men of God need other men of God to direct and show them and really, hold them accountable. Essentially,
like Steve said, that sense of community really goes a long way, man.
But for men, we need men.
Yeah.
And if it's like that in a secular world, imagine how much it is more like that in our world, in the kingdom. We need other men. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is.
All right, fellas, listen, this has been awesome. I got to bring you back, Sam. I got to bring you back, man.
Yes, sir. Whenever you're ready, man. Whenever you're ready, bro.
All right, Steve, you know what it is.
I mean, at this point, I'm like the co-host, bro. At this point, we should just call this Ron and Steve. No, I'm joking, bro. Always a pleasure to be here, man. Always a pleasure.
This is awesome, man. I appreciate you guys coming out, taking the time out.
My pleasure.
Blast, man.
All
See
right,
you guys next time.
And thank you for having me. And Ron, thank you for even having a forum of this magnitude and doing what you're doing. A lot of people need to hear this. And what's amazing, and they need to hear it from a godly perspective. Yeah. Because you're addressing social issues, you're addressing world issues, but they need a godly perspective on it. And that's definitely what you're doing. So kudos to you. My hat goes off to you. Salute.
I appreciate the support, and thanks for rocking with me, man. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Later, bro.